Hi everyone, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the BleuIO app and show you how you can use it to work with your BleuIO and BleuIO Pro devices. I'll go through the main features step by step and show how they work in real time. To access the BleuIO app, you can find it directly from our Getting Started guide, or you can open it using this URL. Here is the link on the screen now. You can bookmark it or even install it as a web app so you can access the app anytime when working with BleuIO. Now that the app is open, let's start by connecting to a device. I have my BleuIO Pro dongle connected to my computer. Let's connect. And as you can see, the status now shows connected. This makes it very clear that the dongle is ready and the app is communicating with it. Next, let's look at the AT command input and the terminal. This is where you send commands directly to the BleuIO dongle and see the responses in real time. Instead of memorizing commands, you can simply start typing a keyword. Let's type Mac. And as you can see, the app immediately suggests the AT plus getMac command. Let's try this. I'll send the command, and now we can see the MAC address of the dongle displayed in the terminal output. Now let's try another example. Let's type scan. Here you can see a list of commands that include scanning. I'll select AT plus gap scan. Before running it, let's click on Show Help. Here, the app explains how this command works, what parameters it accepts, and what kind of response we can expect. This help section is very useful when you want to understand a command before running it. Now let's choose how long we want the scan to run. I'll set it to 3 seconds. Let's run the command. Now the dongle is scanning for nearby BLE devices for 3 seconds, and we can see the scan output directly in the terminal. This built-in help makes it much easier to understand each command, what parameters you can pass, and how to interpret the response you receive. Next, let's look at the BLE Advertising Builder. This feature helps you build BLE advertising payloads without having to manually calculate everything. Let's start by selecting a manufacturer ID. I'll choose 75B, which belongs to smart sensor devices. Now I'll add some random values for the hex pairs. As you can see, the BLE advertising payload is generated automatically. We can copy this payload and use it directly in the console to send it to the dongle. This is very useful when testing custom advertising data or prototyping BLE devices. Now let's move on to the search feature. This allows you to search through all available AT commands using keywords. Let's search for security. Here we can see 2 results. If we open them, we can view detailed information about commands like AT plus gap pair and AT plus SECLVL, including what they do and how they are used. This makes it easy to explore commands without going through long documentation manually. Finally, let's take a look at the firmware update feature. First, let's check what firmware version is currently installed on my BleuIO Pro. I'll go back to the console and run the ATI command. Here we can see that the current firmware version is 1.0.4.14. Now let's go back to the firmware update screen. I'll select BleuIO Pro, and as you can see, there is a newer firmware version available. Let's select it and start the update. Once the update is complete, we'll see a confirmation message. Now let's connect again and verify the update. I'll run the ATI command one more time, and here we can see that the latest firmware is now installed. We can do the same thing for the standard BleuIO dongle with one extra step. Let's go through that briefly. I've connected my BleuIO dongle and checked the current firmware version. Now let's go back to the firmware update screen, select BleuIO, and choose the latest firmware. During the update process, the app will ask us to select the serial port. It's important to select the port immediately when it appears. Let's do that now and wait for the update to finish. Once the update is complete, we'll connect again and verify the firmware version. As you can see, the latest firmware is successfully installed. You can also downgrade to a previous firmware, just select the desired version and follow the same update process. This app brings together everything you need to work efficiently with BleuIO, from sending AT commands and built-in help to BLE tools, search, and firmware updates all in one clean and easy to use interface.